I'm really struggling to start this video without sounding really annoying and pretentious. But if you didn't know, I got into National Youth Theatre this year. And first of all, thank you so much for the support on that video where I said that I got in. Like, I really appreciate that people who I know, people who I don't know, have all been quite supportive of my acting journey, and I'm really grateful to be surrounded by such nice people following along my acting journey, so thank you so much for that. But also, what getting in and talking about that has made me realise is that so many people are very confused about the application process and about what actually even is the National Youth Theatre. And I completely understand that, because when I first auditioned, I was the same, and even now, like, there's things that I'm learning that I didn't know about, and it's all quite confusing. So I thought I'd talk about the application process and about what actually the National Youth Theatre is a little bit, to the best of my knowledge. First main point is, how do you actually apply? And that's actually quite confusing. I only applied via self-tapes, but I think they've started to reintroduce in-person auditions. I could be wrong. Look into that, I guess. But you have to first, to audition, there's not like an audition fee, but you have to be a member of the NYT Hub, which is this thing online that they introduced where you get access to resources like videos of old workshops they've done online. And to be a member of that, you either pay £24 for the year or £2 for the month. So I think you can just pay £2 and then audition. Or they have free bursary places that you can also apply for to be able to join, so then you can audition for free. So that's what that is, because that's something that was very confusing, and a lot of people have questions about. So that's what that is. So instead of having the audition fee, this is the kind of process that they have. So even if you don't get in, you've still got that hub membership, so you've got access to all of these other opportunities on there. It's got an external opportunities page, I think. And the self-tape is 3 parts. So the first part is an introduction where you can say your name, where you're from, your pronouns, a fun fact about yourself, all the information's on the website. And then there's a monologue or a short story or original piece of writing. I think I've heard some people maybe say that, like, unless you're really comfortable and really want to do something that's original writing, like, don't just do that for the sake of it, like, you can just do a monologue. And then the third part is there's 3 questions, and I think it's quite easy in the questions to think about, like, what do they want to hear and stuff. But I don't think in my final year I actually thought about the questions that much. That might not be a good thing, but I think I just went with my answers and I didn't think what do they want to hear, I just genuinely answered the questions. So that's what I did, and I also didn't fill the whole 5 minutes because I think it's meant to be no more than 5 minutes, but I think my tape was actually more like 3.5. But obviously there are many different ways you can do this tape, and doing it a different way to someone who's got in doesn't mean that you won't get in. But I think, as with a lot of places, like, there's no set one way to do a self-tape and get in, so I don't want to go into too much detail about my own process. I'm happy to answer any questions, but I feel like that's just not the most helpful, because I think when I'm thinking too much about what other people have done, I'm not best prepared to do my best and give my best, because my best is not someone else's, what someone else's best is, and following them is doing my own best. I don't think that even makes sense. And then the recall is on Zoom, and you perform one of your monologues. You might get redirected with it. You might, I don't know whether it's optional or not, but there's something to do with bringing an unaccompanied song. I think it's meant to be unaccompanied. So that's what the recall involves. There's a lot of questions. And when you pick your audition time, you also pick which intake course you'd prefer to do, because you have to do an intake course in order to be able to be a proper member of the National Youth Theatre. And you can do this intake course as a set of about 10 weekends or something. I don't know how many weekends it is. Or you can do it in an afternoon and an evening online, or you can do it as a full-time course for 2.5 weeks. And originally I was going to do it online because I was like, that might be the most convenient option, it's cheapest. But then I spoke to people and they were like, you can sometimes get the most out of the experience if you do it in person, because then you're with the people all day, every day, so you're more in the experience and then you get more out of it. You can bond with the people because you're seeing them every day for 2.5 weeks. So I thought, you only do the intake course once, so I thought I'd not want to live with regrets, try and get the most out of the experience. So I thought I'd want to do it in person as a 2.5 week thing. And then also I can then continue to work and it's not going to get in the way having to do a regular afternoon evening slot for a consistent amount of time. So that's why I made the choice that I made. Maybe it's not the most interesting to hear why I made the decision I made, but that's why I changed, because I just thought I might make the most of it and get more out of it by being there all day, every day, actually in person. So I did email And You Can Switch if you realise that you might have made a mistake and not made the best choice for you. So I did that and then I got in, and then what happens is you have to pay for your course, and I think there are a lot of ways that you can get bursaries for it, and you can ask about getting free places, because I don't think they want to leave people out if you can't fund it. Like, there'll always be a way to fund it, but I am in the position where I could fund it. It's just a bit sad to see all the money leave your account. And I didn't realise before I auditioned quite how expensive the course was, but what I'm seeing it as is an investment, because if I got work out of this, then I would earn the money back. And I've done classes before which have got me work, and then that's quite good, because then it's paying your fees back, and then you might even earn more than your fees, and then financially it's better off. So that's what I'm seeing it as, and I'm paying for a really interesting experience as well, so I hope I don't regret spending this amount of money. And my course is 2.5 weeks in August, and then I'm a member of the National Youth Theatre. I think I can audition for their rep company every year, and I think then it costs just like 35, I could be wrong because I'm not actually a member, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think it only costs like £35 or something every year. So that's what I'm joining, and I've heard that people have had auditions for some quite interesting things. There's opportunities to do workshops with them, and also it's a nice opportunity to get to network and meet with people, I guess, on your intake course, who are interested in acting and who are the same kind of age group as you. And I think since I've not gone to drama school, it's always nice to meet a wide range of different people with different experiences and different training. So I hope that's answered a lot of questions about the National Youth Theatre application process, what it involves, because I think it is really, really complicated and hard to understand. They do have pages on their website, but I just thought I'd chat about it because I like explaining things to people, and otherwise, like, my channel would just be dead if there's no reason to explain stuff to people. But thank you so much for watching. I don't even know if I've made sense or not, but I hope I have. And if you have any further questions, comment them below. And if you have anything else you want to say, comment it below, because I'd love to have a chat. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Thank you, bye!